Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? In today's video, we're talking all about the new Pillow Talk collection. So there are an extension of products that's just released. I have the two highlighters to show you. I have the luxury quad and a light one. I'm gonna apply them all to my face. I'm gonna just let you know my first impressions on these products. We'll do tons of comparisons within her line and all that good stuff. If this is your first time passing by, I'm Gigi. I love to review high-end and luxury makeup. If you love that kind of content, go ahead and click on the red button that says subscribe, and also go to my Instagram because over there I do keep you posted on new makeup sales, makeup releases, everything like that. So let's just go ahead and get started. Hello friends, so today we're gonna talk all about new Pillow Talk collection. I picked out a few of the products that she's released with this new Pillow Talk. I got the two highlighters, the light in the shade Romance Light, and I got DreamLight. So I'm gonna try these two out. I also got the quad in the shade Pillow Talk Dreams. So we're gonna try these out. And then I got a light one, beauty light one in the shade Pillow Talk Medium. So we'll see how I can put everything to my face, and you know, talking about the one and the highlighters, we'll see how we make it work. But we're gonna begin with the eyeshadow first. All the products I'm talking about in today's video are gonna be linked below, and the prices and everything are gonna appear here on the screen. But this is Pillow Talk Luxury of Dreams. They always come in this light pink cardboard packaging. These are the colors inside. I already swatched them. I haven't played with them a bit, so we're gonna do that together today. I want to do a pretty easy going kind of look. So let's begin with the eyes. I'm gonna start off with this shade up here, and I'm gonna apply this lightly because it looks very pigmented. I'm gonna apply it in my outer V, and I'm gonna bring it towards my crease area. Next, gonna apply a little bit of the darkest shade right at top in my outer V. And both colors are blending really well. The matte formulation is actually very pigmented. A little bit goes a long way. Like I grabbed just the tiniest bit on my brush, and that's taking me my whole lid. I don't want to do it super deep, so I think I'll just leave it like that. I'm gonna grab a little bit more of the lightest shade, and I'm gonna bring it a little bit higher on my crease, like so. Then for the shimmers, I'm going to use my fingers. That's the way to go when it comes to shimmers. I like to apply them with my fingers. I'm going to take this deeper shade and I'm going to apply it in the center of my eyelid. And I'm gonna tap this shade. It looks like it has some fallout. I can already tell because it's a little bit crumbly, so I am getting just a little bit of fallout. But this is stunning, super shimmery and pretty. For the inner corner shade, I'm actually going to go ahead and use Referal 02 brush. I don't want a ton of fallout, so I'm gonna spray my brush with Charlotte's spray, and then I'm going to apply the lightest shade in my inner corner. Ooh, so foiled and pretty. These are very pigmented and very soft to the touch. I'm gonna turn my brush and apply a little bit of the darkest and just match those two colors. And yeah, I have fallout. I'm gonna take this shade and I'm gonna apply it on my lower lash line. I'm gonna apply up a little bit of that light shade and I'm gonna blend the edges right here in the front and taking it a little bit back. And that's it. So I'm gonna create the same thing on the other eye. I'll come back with my lashes and my eyes done to try out the. Alright friends, I'm back and I finished off with some mascara, a little bit of liner, and this is my final eye look. I think that these eyeshadows are very pretty and very pigmented. So I feel like it really makes sense for her to have a Pillow Talk Dreams or like Pillow Talk. This is like the medium, in my opinion, the medium to deep version of the Pillow Talk. It just makes sense for her to have something like this because her regular Pillow Talk was just not enough for a lot of people. So I'm gonna put them side by side and you're gonna be able to see. This is the regular Pillow Talk. You can see how light this is against this one. It just makes sense for her brand to have something deeper for deeper complexions. This is something that I always, like a Pillow Talk regular for my complexion, I always struggle to use it because it just never had enough depth. It was never enough. I found myself just building up my colors. Even though they do build up a little bit, there's only so much that a shadow will build up, and these never did for me. Like, it just looked very beautiful, natural, but it was just not enough depth in my opinion. So something like this just works. So I feel like this palette is gonna be for someone that doesn't have Pillow Talk, that they always thought that this was too light, and that they're medium tanner complexions. I think this is beautiful. And plus, for someone that don't have a ton in their collection, this is a better formulation, 100%, hands down. When it comes to the shimmers in the Pillow Talks, these are so faint. These ones are beautiful and crumbly shimmers, so you're gonna expect to see fallout because the formulation is that crumbly, but so pretty and beautiful. I loved it. I think this is a beautiful palette. I am so happy to have it in my collection. So now let's talk about Fire Rose and how they compare. So this is Fire Rose and then this is the Dreams palette. You can see that Fire Rose is a little bit more burgundy. These are a little bit more of a pinky but warm. The Super Pop here in this palette is gonna be more pigmented than these ones here, but they're very comparable. I'm gonna do swatches so that you can take a look. So these are the two swatches of the Dream palette. Now I am going to swatch Fire Rose beside it. So 1 and then 2. The Super Pop doesn't really compare. The Super Pop in Fire Rose is really something. You can see that it is very shimmery, so much more than the two at the beginning. So something to note is that in the Fire Rose we get a Super Pop, and that's this shade, which is very shimmery and crumbly even. In the new Dreams palette, this is the Super Pop, but it doesn't really compare. You can see how, you know, they're not equal. These are very pigmented and crumbly. This is just beautiful and pigmented, and it is metallic, but not as much as Fire Rose. I think it's the closest that she's been to Fire Rose, to be honest, because in the other ones she doesn't even call them Super Pops. She calls them just pops. When it comes to Pillow Talk, I don't think I need to swatch anything. So now I'm gonna move on to the Bejeweled palette because we're still only sticking with the shimmers, and I'm going to swatch Love Glow and I'm gonna do Dream Glow, and these are going to go right here. So these two bottom ones are the ones in the Bejeweled palette, which is similar to the first one. So they're gonna give you a very similar effect in the eyes, if you ask me. If you look at them closely enough, they're very similar. They're sort of like a crumbly shade, very pigmented. You can pack it on, you can spray your brush and get a ton of pigment from it. So that's in the Bejeweled palette. So now let's move on to the two mattes in the Dream palette. So I'm gonna do 1 and 2. So you can see how soft, how pigmented these shades are. Here you go. I am going to move to the Pillow Talk palette, and I'm gonna be swatching the browns in here. So I am going to take Date and then Dusk. So I'm going to apply these ones here. So here you go. You can see that they're actually very similar. We don't have any spot on dupe, but the Dusk and the first one, they're closely enough. These being a little bit more orangey and these a little bit more red in tone. But again, when you buff them in the eyes, I don't think you'll be able to tell like, oh my god, look at that, like they're so different. I don't think so. So anyhow, in here I don't feel like the shimmers are gonna compare, so I'm not gonna swatch those. Those are the comparisons that I wanted to do. So I didn't find any dupes within my collection from Charlotte, but I feel like if you have the Bejeweled, you can get similar shimmers in this kind of palette, and if you have the Pillow Talk, you can get similar mattes in this palette. So you can have to, you know, pick and choose if you want to achieve sort of like a similar look. But if you have a lot of Charlotte Tilbury in your collection and you have these ones, then I feel like you already have the palette and you can totally skip. And if you're someone that don't have a lot of Charlotte and you always wanted the Pillow Talk and you just felt like it was too light, then this is your opportunity to grab something deeper, something richer with a better quality when it comes to the shimmer. So I didn't apply any blush because I went ahead and swatched the light one. I usually like to apply this light one as a blush, so I do have the Pillow Talk one and I apply it as a blush. This is actually very rich in color, bronzy color. I wasn't expecting this kind of color, so I am going to show you what it looks like in a little swatch. And look, it is bronze. It is totally bronze color, which caught me really off guard, to be honest. So I'm gonna use it on this side and I'm gonna use it as a blush to see what it looks like. I'll be honest, I'm not dying. I'm not dying with this color. I thought I'll like it a little bit more, but let's see. I'm gonna apply it directly a little bit more. This is what that looks like. Very sheer out, very natural a kind of blush. I like it, but I don't know, I don't feel like this is a must. I feel like I like pink blushes so much more than I'm not really feeling this bronzy shade. So anyhow, I did want to still put it on and show you what it looks like. It is beautiful, the same formulation. It's just a color that I'm not really gravitating towards, to be honest. So anyhow, I am gonna go ahead and remove this one. I'll apply some blush and then we'll come back for the two other highlighters. Alrighty, so I went ahead and removed that highlighter and applied some blush, and now we're back to talk about her new Beautifying All Over Glow highlighter. We've got two shades here. Let me show you Romance Light. So this is the packaging. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is pink. I think the camera is washing it out just a little bit, but it's a light pink. Very, very pretty. They both have the same color. I wish that one was a little bit darker so you can tell them apart, but no, they're the same. Inside, this is what they both look like. Here is Romance Light. And he is a DreamLight. These are them side by side. They look absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait. This one, I think that it may be a little bit too light. We'll see. I don't want to touch this light shade, so I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna apply like this. So this is that color. You can see that it is a little bit too light for me. It is that platinum, a little bit rosy, but very, very platinum, and I don't think that is very complementary to my complexion. It is beautiful. It doesn't really emphasize any texture, and I feel like it looks very, very pretty, but I don't love this shade for my complexion. We're going to clean our brush here and go ahead into this one, and this I'll just swirl my brush and apply it. Ooh, this is pretty. This is more for me. I mean, this is more my complexion. Look at that. It looks so beautiful. It just meshes so well into the skin. It looks so pretty. I love this shade. Let's see if I can build up a little bit more. These look like wet on my face. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. So this is the light one. And then this is the deeper one. I thought that the deep was gonna be too deep, but you can totally, if you have lighter complexion, you can totally stick to different parts of the blush. When I swatched them, I thought they were very, very deep, so I was like even afraid that it was gonna be too deep for me, but no, this is absolutely perfection. It is meant for my complexion. So I am happy to see that she's released two. I'm happy to see that she has two tones that are gonna, you know, work for a lot of people. This is gonna be for medium, tan, deeper, and way deeper complexions, and this is gonna be for you if you're light. If you're a light complexion, I don't feel like this is gonna, you know, be good for you because it's just too light. As this one, I feel like it's just too light for me, but I still wanted to get it. I still wanted to show you both shades on my complexion, but I am loving this one. Alright friends, let's wrap up the video with some final thoughts. As I mentioned about the palette, this is the closest to Fire Rose that we're going to get so far. This is beautiful, beautiful pigmentation, very, very deep and rich. The shimmers in here has that beautiful metallic and soft formulation that I love. It has a little bit of fallout, so be mindful of that, but other than that, beautiful, great job. Well done by Charlotte. It just makes sense for her to have a deeper shade, a Pillow Talk Deep, because really the Pillow Talk, it was just too natural and just too light for some people. Like for me, I couldn't make that one work, but this one is just perfection. When it comes to the light wand, I don't know, I don't love this shade, but I feel like it's gonna be beautiful for someone with richer complexions. I feel like if you tried the other ones, the gold, and they were just too light for you, this is going to be good for you. For me, I don't love it. I don't really love this shade. It's just too bronzy. I just don't like blushes that bronzy. So, but you know, those are my 2 cents. And now when it comes to the highlighters, I am so happy to see, I am so pleased to see that she's released 2. I love DreamLight. This is beautiful for medium tan and richer complexions. It doesn't emphasize any texture. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. I love all the shades. Swirl, I feel like it's everything. You can absolutely do a little bit of customizing here. Like, I like the fact that you could, if you have a fan brush like this, you can just stay with the gold if you feel like wearing gold that day, or pink highlighter, or bronzy highlighter, or neutral highlighter. So I think that this is a very smart and stunning. For my complexion, I don't feel like this is good. I feel like it looks a little bit gray. It just looks too light, but I mean, this is gonna be perfect for light and fair complexion. So again, I'm happy to see that she's released 2 shades so that we have the options. This for me, it just didn't work out. It's just too light. It looks a little bit gray. As I mentioned, just too cool tone. It really clashes. It doesn't really applied even and like seam because it's just too light. But that's just the product. I still wanted to show you both of them so you can take a look and, you know, just see what it looks like in my complexion. These products were stunning. I feel like this extension of Pillow Talk was much needed. I love this highlighter. It's much more pigmented than her other highlighter. I forgot to actually compare the 2 highlighters that I have from her. This highlighter is gonna be something much more natural. This is gonna be more pigmented, more metallic, but in a good way. It's not really super metallic. It looks actually very natural in person, but this looks much more natural. This that I have is her Magic Star highlighter. It's just an all over golden glow, and I love this highlighter. I think it's so gorgeous for my complexion. But if I have to do a little swatch of this Pillow Talk here, the gold one, this is a little bit more neutral and a little bit more pigmented. So the new highlighter has a little bit more pigmentation than her Magic Star highlighter. So I did wanted to mention they have a similar packaging, similar feel, very luxe and high end, but I love this one much more. Anyhow, I wanted to compare those 2 highlighters in case you were curious about that. Alrighty friends, and that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what do you think of this Pillow Talk collection. What do you think of this extension? Did you like the products that I feature in today's video? Any comments, anything at all, just drop them below. Thanks so much you guys for love and support. Do not forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.